Shut up, Give me now, let me do this now. Thank you for meeting me. You're a fool. Where the fuck would you tell me to shut up? Where the fuck would you tell me to shut up? You should shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you? This babe actually hit me alone. Just come to this one with the pot. I'm not okay. This babe hits me. It's different now. You can't be okay. I'm not okay. You're fucking dumb. Sit down. Every day I will fight you. Every day I will fight you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe it, but I just returned from a heated altercation between Zita and Mide inside Big Brother's house. Yeah, I barely walked out of that place with my life intact. They almost took my life from me. But I am alive and I am grateful. Woo! Yeah, I'm actually lying. Yes, I am actually lying. I wasn't inside the house. Of course, I was outside the house. I was right here in my studio watching everything play out, all right? Although I missed one or two things. And so I had to go back and scroll, to catch every single detail. I literally found myself replaying that scene over and over again. I think I actually replayed it about 5 times just to be sure what I saw, because there were narratives flying around and I wasn't really sure who was right or wrong. So even if I was watching it play out, I had to go and replay again because everything happened so fast. And from the way Mide has been shouting, ladies and gentlemen, you can tell that she really wants Zita to be disqualified with immediate effect if Big Brother can make it happen. Yeah. Mide, on the other hand, is not necessarily defending herself, right? For her, she's just thriving, or rather riding off of the waves of the chaos, of the drama, because she's a chaotic person herself. She enjoys drama, right? So she was just riding off of it, whilst Mide, who wasn't shouting before, like suddenly increased the volume. Ah! You hit me! You hit me! You hit my head! Like she has been shouting. So Glory Elijah had to go and do some investigations so that I can come and give you all here the facts of what exactly happened. Now, here is what happened, The housemates are short of food. Food supplies are scarce in the house. Everybody is hungry. A lot of people are really, really hungry. Mide had been complaining that she was hungry. Now, she went to the kitchen. She was cleaning up carrots. And according to Damboski, he was the one that said he wanted to cook upstairs. And then Mide said she wanted to add her bodies to the pot. And Damboski said, okay, fine, you can go ahead and cook then. And Damboski said, okay, it's going to be me and my girlfriend, Zita. Mide said, okay, fine. So they have I think about 7 people that wants to eat inside that food because Mide's own bride will also eat from the pot. You get what I mean? So it's going to be like a family affair. But then Mide was looking for assistance. There were things to chop, vegetables to chop for the food, right? And that was where she, nicely asked that, okay, please, I don't usually do carrots every day, but please, I need help. Zita, come and help to chop carrots. And I say carrot. And Zita too, in a very chilled and, very laid back manner, the way Zita normally talks, like, I cannot do carrots, so fine girl. Sorry. She just said it like that because that is how Zita talks. But because these two girls do not have a proper rapport, right? They're not besties in the house, although they are cordial, hi, what's up? Oh, I want to chill with you guys. They play, they laugh like that, but they are not besties, right? So if Dede, for instance, had responded like that to Mide, I cannot chop carrots. Fine girl, sorry, I cannot chop carrots. It wouldn't have been a problem. But this is Mide, a different person that does not really have a bond with Zita, and she took it as an offense, right? Now, Mide goes on to complain to Damboski that, listen, it's because of you I want to cook this food. And because you said you want to add your girlfriend, I said, okay, fine, I'll add your girlfriend to this food. Normally, I would not add her. So I've told her to come and chop carrots. She said she cannot do it. So in that case, I'm not going to add her to the food. So I'm not going to cook for her. So Zita was like, yeah, fine, thank you, whatever. And she was walking away. Mide now was getting aggravated. And she's like, yeah, you just to chop simple carrots. You cannot even chop simple carrots. What's wrong with you? Please shut up. Because as she was talking initially, Zita was like, yeah. She likes doing this Gen Z body stuff. And she was walking away. She was like, yeah. She was walking away. And that was irritating Mide. And so Mide said, shut up, Joe. And that was what unscrewed the knot in Zita's head, because maybe she turned back and she's like, oh, are you telling shut up? Is it because of carrots? And chop your carrots. I said I don't want your carrots. Is it by force? And Mide was saying a lot of things. Zita was getting angry. Now Zita was washing the pot. I think that's the pot they wanted to use to cook the food. So Zita was washing the pot and she was returning back to the stove because she was at the sink. Now Mide saw her coming with the pot because she was approaching menacingly, like, who are you telling shut up? Who are you telling shut up? She was walking towards the stove with the pot. Mide assumed that Zita was coming to come and beat her up with the pot. So Mide focused on the pot. Oh, where are you going with the pot? Who are you coming to with the pot? So as Mide was talking, Mide had the knife that she was using to chop the carrots, right? She had it like this. Who are you coming with a pot? Who are you coming to with a pot? And when somebody is angry and they're talking and they're gesticulating with a knife, it looked as though Zita also felt threatened. Now, I don't know if you guys see the misunderstanding right there. Mide thought that Zita was coming to attack her with a pot. Zita, on the other hand, thought that Mide was threatening her with a knife. So she's like, who are you pointing the knife at? Who are you? Who are you? So as she approached Mide, that's Zita now, as she approached Mide, she used the pot and hit Mide's hand. Now, she was trying to target the knife, like to hit the knife away, but Mide was still holding the knife at the first impact. And then where the camera really now showed us what exactly happened, because the first hit, the camera did not capture it. But the second hit, the camera captured it where Zita hit Mide's hand. So the intention was to, disarm her, to remove the knife from Mide's hand. And Mide shouted because probably the pot had actually impacted on her hand, and she was shouting, you hit me, oh, because of that, you hit me, you gave me the pot and you attacked me, you hit me. And she was shouting. Now Zita, on the other hand, probably because that was not her intention, she was taken aback and she started yelling and shouting, who hit you, so they were exchanging words back and forth, guys. It was heated. Dan Bosky, on the other hand, he was trying to pacify Zita, was trying to hold her. Mide's people, they were also holding Mide. So it was a tussle of war. Like, everybody was dragging everybody. Me, I was in the shadows. I'm like, we should not fight and kill each other. But it was that intense, was that insane. Now, because Mide was shouting the loudest, and of course, guys, the two girls, they irritate a lot of people in the house. So you could see that there were persons that were quite happy and excited that both of them were quarreling, because they are the pain in the ass to a lot of people, right? So you could see that they were both shouting for dominance, to tell their own side of the story. Now, Mide had the upper hand because she was screaming. Like, I'm not even saying she was shouting. She was literally screaming and telling her own side of the story. That I only asked her to come and help me to cut carrot, just simple, polite request. Come help me to cut carrot, and then she hit me. She hit me with the pass. She hit me. Guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm silly right now. But it sounded like musical tune, She hit me. She hit me. She shouted, she hit me. Zita, on the other hand, was going crazy because later on we found that from our own explanation that she was really pissed because Mide was lying, that she did not hit Mide. Now, here's the thing. Zita cannot say for sure if she hit Mide or not, because that was not her intention. Her intention was to hit the knife. That is to disarm Mide. But Mide is the one that was holding the knife, right? And when the impact of that pot landed on her hand, right? She's the one that could feel it. Now, she could be lying or not. That is left to Big Brother and production to go and do forensic investigations. They probably need to use like a microscope to really zoom into the, the footage and check, did the pot land on Mide's hand? What was the intention? Did Zita say, I will hit you with this pot? No, Zita did not threaten Mide that she was going to hit Mide with the pot. The intention was to hit the knife away from Mide's hand to disarm Mide. But here's another side to the story that none of the housemates were looking at, right? And I tweeted about this. I tweeted that, listen, when you look at that situation, everybody will automatically conclude that physical violence has occurred. And of course, physical violence is prohibited. It's a violation in the rule book, right? So that's the first thing that will come to everybody's mind. But if you now want to give an unbiased and objective analysis of that situation, what you would see right there playing out in broad daylight is that in the heat of the moment, Mide had a weapon. That knife that she was using to cook, that kitchen utensil, automatically became a weapon for self-defense. Because as she was talking to Zita, let me use my comb, she was like this, you're stupid, you are mad, so the knife is quite sharp and pointy, and she's going like this, right? Zita, on the other hand, kind of felt threatened, right? And so she was coming, and her own intention was probably to disarm Mide, hit off the knife so that they could probably go chest to chest to fight and to argue and to have a proper vocal combat, right? Now, Zita holding that pot, because she probably wasn't thinking at that point in time, probably that wasn't her intention, that pot also that pot also became a weapon in her hand. Now, she did not intend to have it as a weapon, but it became a weapon. Now, these objects are kitchen utensils, but they can actually inflict a lot of harm and damage if mistakenly used or properly used. Now, what I'm saying again, let me repeat it for proper understanding. With the way Mide was explaining herself and going back and forth with the knife, if Zita had come really close, there could have been a mistaken stab at Zita. Zita, on the other hand, hitting Mide's hand with that pot can easily fracture Mide's hand. So, if you ask me, Glory Elijah will tell you that both girls are wrong. Remember, every action, first of all, is triggered by an action, or rather, every reaction is triggered by an action. Mide's action, her act of holding that knife and extending it, it posed as a threat to Zita. And let's not even talk about, Mide wasn't going to stab Zita, she knows the rule book. Well, the point is, you never know what happens to you in the fit of rage. And at that point in time, you could tell that Mide was really angry. Yeah? So, my take is, both girls wielded kitchen utensils that automatically became weapons in their hands. And so, if Mide is hoping that Big Brother would disqualify Zita, I personally do not think that situation should lead to a disqualification for neither of them. None of them should go home. Now, another angle I'm going to come from is this. If we're going to now label Mide, now, another angle. Now, there's another angle to this, right? If Big Brother is going to issue a strike to Zita, then he will also have to hinge it on the fact that Zita actually approached Mide where Mide was, right? In the heat of that moment, even though Mide was wielding a knife that she was using to cut a carrot, which, as I stated, has automatically become a weapon because she kept on pointing it at, what's her name now, Zita, as she was talking, right? The fact that Zita approached Mide, because as I said, she was actually going to the stove to defrost meat that she and Damboski removed from the fridge, but then she branched towards where Mide was, right? So the fact that she made that move to go towards Mide, Big Brother could pick an offense on that, right? So there he could hinge that, okay, she had intentions to actually strike or get physical with Mide. That one is there. Also, if Big Brother is going to issue a strike or even a disqualification at all to Zita, as people are already clamoring about on social media, then he will also have to disqualify Ortega first, because if you all recall, last week after the pool party, all because of the whole squabble for meat and chicken, Ortega and Victory had gotten into a physical struggle, and Ortega had actually twisted Victory's arm like this. Now that is clear and broad daylight physical violence. Yeah, that is it. Another person that would also need to fall into this category of people that could possibly get a strike or a disqualification if Big Brother decides to met out a harsh judgment on Zita will be Bright. The other day, when Bright pounced on, I think it was on Monday, when Bright pounced on Kayikunmi, when he jumped from the chair onto that boy, I heard it. It was an impact, or rather, there was an impact. It felt like he actually punched Kayikunmi on the head, or he slapped him, or whatever, but he hit that boy because the guy was shocked. The guy was bent over and then it was like this, you know? So that happened. So if Big Brother is going to look into that kind of punishment, then it means it will also have to call out other people. Oh, and then lastly, there's also, what's this girl's name now? Imisi. Imisi that had a fork and was advancing threateningly to Koyi when they were having that crazy altercation. I think it was the same night, or was it Saturday night? Yeah. That would also have to be considered, because in that case, even though we're all laughing and having fun about the whole drama happening, what Imisi was holding, which was just a common utensil, automatically became a weapon in her hand, a weapon for self-defense. Because remember, in that scenario, she had two guys and some girls. There was Gigi Jasmine, there was also Sultana, there was Koyin, there was Rude Boy. She felt surrounded by enemies, and so for self-defense, she held that fork like she was going to stab anybody that comes to her or anybody that touches her. So I just really hope that Big Brother takes all of these things into consideration before meting out a harsh judgment on Zita. Yes, but anyways, I'm going to stop talking here because I would love to hear how you would analyze that situation and what you would do if you were in Big Brother's shoes. How would you analyze the situation and what would be your verdict? Go ahead, share in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.